Alasia, this could be the critical thing. We came really close to something that could be very healthy. And I suspect that there's a very good possibility that, quite understandably, you gave a need that email that you sent me, that last email that you sent me about basically too much. So you said that you're trying to weed people out, which not a good whatever, but mission accomplished. Okay, very understandable. It's quite possible that it was a knee-jerk reaction, and we came close to a touchdown towards something that you would love, because I make it very, 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 very difficult for women when they seem like they find me interesting, when they seem like they find me fascinating, when they start to put some value on me. I make it extremely difficult at the beginning, extremely difficult. It's like a crash course. I think right now you're probably in a frame of mind, and you'd be forgiven for it. I mean, not forgiven as in you've done anything wrong, but it'd be totally understandable that you'd be in a frame of mind where it's like, I don't even want to. I don't understand, because in the past, those last few days when you were coming back to LA, I gave you the volume, the speed, and the timing of what I put in your inbox, and the content of what I put in your inbox pushed you over the edge. It was the volume, the speed, the timing, and the content. The content, because I think it's reasonable to say that unlike most other women, you actually, up until a point, you actually, I think you were probably actually looking forward to sitting down when you had time and writing me, maybe even rereading some of the stuff, maybe even appreciating it even more. I think that you were looking forward to that, to making a connection with me, that you were valuing something that was there. You might argue that you were looking to make a connection that's different from the connection that I wanted to make. That's not the point right now, but I think it's reasonable that, let's say, for 85% of the stuff that I sent you, you were actually looking forward. It's reasonable to think that you were looking forward to sitting down when it was good for you and connect, revisit or whatever, but connect with me. The last 15%, right when you were coming back home, I'm I pushed you over the edge, and on top of that, I'm like sending you stuff that sexually is unappealing to you. I'm starting to say shit like, "Dude, I don't want to be just friends," and you're like, I mean, I don't know what you're like, but it's like we've only spoken once in person, okay? And I'm like, I don't want to be just friends. I'm like, I need quality time. I'm like laying down the took law, and I'm also like going, on the one hand, you take your time, Elijah, but don't take your time too much, type of thing. So it's completely natural that you'd say, fuck it. And what happens is that, granted, I mean, if there's, but okay, so that'd spoil the thing so much that, like, if you're looking at a car and you were gonna buy a car, you thought good engine, good transmission, and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that you're looking to me as a boyfriend, or I'm just saying as a person that you wanted to have a connection or whatever. But if it gets to the point where it's like, oh my god, this car is such a fucking headache, it's normal that you would even forget that the car had a good engine and that you actually thought this could be a very good car. And that, but what happens is that either that last thing that made you go, oh, I don't even want to think about this car anymore. Ugh, I can't believe I even liked it at first. Either that thing that made you go, uh, is indicative of what the car would be, or it's not indicative of what the car would be. And the fact of the matter is that what I offer is to die for, because if we get to the touchdown, which after I sent you those emails that were like the heads up with love series, I was looking forward to you at your convenience in some way, at your leisure, being able to absorb it without my having to keep throwing stuff at you. I also was very scarred, and there's a particular area in which women put me that I didn't. As an abused person, I did not want to open the door. I was exaggerated in my reaction to. Some would argue not from where I'm coming from. I know that I did the right thing, but you need to understand that if you have what it takes to think, you know what, maybe I shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater and put things in perspective. Maybe take a little time, maybe revisit things. I know that I then did a video which came out completely wrong. Don't even bother with it if you haven't yet, because there's this anger and overlap and confusion. I explained that. Don't even bother if you haven't gotten into it. So it's not like after you told me enough, I did not continue with stuff that made you want to throw the baby out, would make you anybody want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm aware of that. But what I offer is a spa. Because once I put my premises out there, if I have the maturity, which I hope I do right now, to not do what she did to me, which is to not have a knee-jerk reaction and thought, okay, she's not interested, it's not going to work out. If I have the maturity to do what I'm doing right now, which is realize, wait a second, as I told you in my email, see, it takes, most people don't do this, the maturity to go above and beyond their impulsive reactions and to go, let me evaluate, is there something worthwhile here? And am I applying due diligence? So that's what I would ask you, that's what I would invite you to do, due diligence. You're a human being. I understand that it takes, emotions and reactions need to be processed, but due diligence. Did you give this person, me, due diligence? I don't think. I think that's what you might want to consider doing, which would mean when you've got a moment. I'm not. I don't. I think it'd be impossible to think that you would go back to processing and revisiting with the same attitude that you would have before. I think before I pushed you over the edge, you were actually looking forward to sitting down, reading my stuff, and or responding. Up to a point, I think you really wanted to do that. I think it'd be too much to expect that you would be able to right now go back to that feeling, because that feeling has been ruined, or that attitude, or something like that. Or the state of mind where it's like, oh, I want, maybe next week or whatever, I'm gonna sit down and read or write with Chuck. Okay, I don't think it's reasonable to imagine that you'd be in that state right now. It's more reasonable to imagine that it's like you don't even want to hear anything of or about me. But you're not stupid. I'm not saying that you would be stupid if you didn't, but at the same time, there's a proper time and a place, and we destroyed that proper time and a place, but that does not take away from what I might have to offer and what you might have to offer. And what I have to offer when I talked about the spot for the soul is I'm not looking for a commitment. See, I know that what I want to bring to women is something to die for. You don't have to commit. You don't have to be bombarded. You can see all the guys you want. I'd actually love to give a spa treatment 365 days out of the year to the woman and or women that I have a connection with and to myself. Because this barrage of things that I've did, which has a purpose, not just, but it's not what I'm looking at. The scenario that I'm looking at is, let's say that if there's a place where I can give you a menu, not in your inbox, that when you want, you go there, you enjoy it. And I'm because I got more time than anybody else. If that week I end up doing, 5 or 10 things that I put in that space for you, it's not 5 or 10 things where I'm assuming that you're going to look at all 5 or 10 things. It's like presenting you with the menu at your convenience. And then when it is convenient for you, you might go to that space and pick from the menu. And then you might go, oh, I love this one. And then you get back to me about that one. It's not about if I send you 10 things, you have to respond to 10 things. Yeah, there were some things that I needed to deal with, but that is different from what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a person that you can begin to connect with. I make it very, very easy for us, very, very easy for us to put you in a situation where, to enable us to be in a situation where it's like, my what's important to me and what's important to you works. Because this business about the next generation relationships, what I'm saying, I don't, because of what I've been through, I don't want to put in the just friends category. We can have very easy solutions that don't involve you sending me pictures of this or you saying that I'm a next gen boyfriend, but we could easily come up with something that works for both of us. Maybe you don't like the term next gen girlfriend or next gen boyfriend. Maybe you could say, oh, he's a weird flirt, whatever. Maybe you don't like to send me pictures of your leg in pantyhose with the shoe, but you say, hey, Tuck, I'd love to send you something, but else instead that makes me as Alasia happy to send it to you, and it makes you happy to receive it. There, John Lennon said, you see problems, I see only solutions. We went through a crisis, and there's no, you have to go through it. This is actually good if we get past this. If we get past this, I don't mean like, oh, you're my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend, and so on and so forth. Granted, unlike a lot of other people, and like the way the situation that you may find yourself in after a 5-year relationship, I'm not looking for casual fun when I meet women. It's a waste of my time. I am looking for somebody that has the potential that we could be talking together all the way until we're old. But at the same time, that does not mean that I'm saying, oh, you're going to commit to this. Because what you do is you find out week by week, month by month. Sending stuff to each other, spending a few hours a week, one night a week, when you enjoy reading something that I've written, and I enjoy reading something that you've written or whatnot. Like I said, Kiva style. But somebody that you can talk to. Deep and casual too. Anyway, so if you can imagine yourself breathing, taking your time, respectfully, but prioritizing. Okay, is this person worth exploring some kind of connection with? That could be healthy and respectful for both of us, and understanding that we would have gone past the difficult obstacles, because that'd be the touchdown right there. That'd be the touchdown. If after what you've been through and the fuck ups that I did and so on and so forth, which was all necessary, and the knee jerk reaction, you find, you know what? Okay, that could have been a good car, and maybe I shouldn't necessarily say don't want to even have to deal with that car anymore, and find that it's not only worthwhile but enjoyable to spend the night of the week, every week, choosing among the things that I have to offer, but it'll be in your space and the more and more customized to you or to us, really, yeah, instead of the 3,000 things that I've got online. And it'll be both a solid person that you're interacting with, something that you're enjoying, and you communicate with me some. I communicate with you some. You're a free woman. You wouldn't be tied down. You wouldn't be committed. You just, if there's things about what I put in your spa, in your digital spa, that you enjoyed this one or you enjoyed that one, that's that's to die for. No, that's to live for.